Imagine stepping into your life and realizing that everything you've been waiting for, the clarity, the energy, the breakthroughs, you can ignite it all in just 30 minutes. I want you to feel that fire right now, because what I'm about to share isn't theory. It's practical, it's powerful, and it's designed to shift the way you move through every single day. Today, we're going to take your life from ordinary to extraordinary, and yes, it can start in the next half hour. I know some of you are thinking, but my life is too stuck, too messy, too late. I want you to hear this loud and clear. It's not too late. Your level up isn't waiting for the perfect moment, it's waiting for your commitment. And in the next 30 minutes, we're going to break down exactly how to activate your focus, your energy, and your unstoppable momentum so that you leave here ready to take action immediately. This isn't about small tweaks. This is about a transformation that touches every part of your life. From your mindset to your habits, from your relationships to your purpose, you're about to see how one concentrated, intentional half hour can recalibrate your whole trajectory. And I promise, if you follow along, you'll feel a surge of clarity and empowerment you haven't felt in years. I want you to take a deep breath and commit right now. This is your time. No more waiting. No more excuses. If you allow yourself to fully engage by the time we're done, you'll have a roadmap that brings you closer to the life you've been dreaming about. And remember, change is rarely slow. It's intentional, it's deliberate, and it's happening right now inside of you. If you're ready to transform, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for daily motivation, and don't just watch, engage. Write any famous quote that inspires you in the comments, and also comment one thing you're believing God for today. Let's level up your life together, starting right now. Focus is one of the most underrated skills in life, yet it is the single most powerful tool. You have to change your circumstances to upgrade your reality and to truly step into your purpose. Most people drift through their days reacting to notifications, distractions, and obligations that are not theirs, allowing their energy and attention to be scattered in 1,000 directions. But when you learn how to awaken your focus, when you learn how to bring full presence and intention to each moment, you unlock the ability to produce extraordinary results, to experience deep clarity, and to finally live the life you were created to live. Focus is not just about paying attention, it is about deciding what deserves your energy, what deserves your mind, and what deserves your heart. It is about understanding that every thought you allow, every action you take, and every commitment you make either pulls you closer to your goals or pushes you further away. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a lens, and right now, it is foggy, scratched, and unfocused. You might have 100 different goals, dreams, and desires swirling in your head, but none of them are clear because your attention is constantly being hijacked by the trivial, the urgent, and the unimportant. Awakening your focus means cleaning that lens. It means removing the distractions that are clouding your vision so that you can see the path ahead with absolute clarity. This is not a skill you are born with, it is cultivated. It is a muscle that grows stronger the more you intentionally train it. And like any muscle, it requires practice, discipline, and persistence. The first step to awakening your focus is to recognize that you are in control of your attention, that it is yours to guide, and that no one else can dictate where your mind goes unless you allow it. One of the most powerful tools for focus is to define what matters most to you right now. If you don't have a clear target, your attention will scatter like leaves in the wind. Take a moment to identify the 1 or 2 outcomes that, if achieved, would transform your day, your week, or your life. When you focus on what matters most, every decision you make, every action you take, and every thought you cultivate can be aligned with that purpose. This is the difference between living reactively and living proactively. Reactive living is exhausting, chaotic, and unfulfilling. Proactive living is deliberate, calm, and intentional. Awakening your focus means choosing to live proactively, to prioritize what truly matters, and to invest your energy where it counts. Another critical element of focus is learning how to eliminate distractions. Distractions are everywhere: phones, emails, social media, notifications, the endless scroll, other people's demands, and even our own wandering thoughts. Every time you allow your attention to be pulled away from what is important, you pay a price in energy, clarity, and momentum. The mind can only hold so much at once, and when it is constantly switching between tasks, you are functioning at a fraction of your potential. Awakening your focus means creating boundaries around your attention. It means setting aside dedicated time to work on what matters, turning off the noise, and saying no to the things that do not serve your goals. This is not selfish, it is necessary. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And you cannot achieve extraordinary results if your energy is scattered and your mind is fragmented. Focus is also a matter of controlling your inner dialogue. The thoughts you allow in your mind dictate your emotions, your decisions, and ultimately your actions. When your mind is filled with fear, doubt, comparison, and distraction, your attention is hijacked and your energy is depleted. Awakening your focus requires training your mind to recognize when it is wandering, to notice when it is being pulled off course, and to gently, but firmly, bring it back to the task, the goal, or the purpose that matters most. This is mindfulness in action, the practice of living fully present in each moment while maintaining a clear vision of your desired outcome. It is not about suppressing thoughts or forcing yourself to think positively all the time. It is about becoming aware of your thoughts and choosing which ones deserve your attention and which ones do not. Creating rituals is another way to awaken your focus. Rituals are powerful because they signal to your brain that it is time to enter a state of deep attention and productivity. This could be as simple as setting aside the first 30 minutes of your day for uninterrupted reflection, meditation, or journaling. It could be creating a dedicated workspace where distractions are minimized and creativity can flow. It could be practicing a breathing exercise to center your mind before tackling complex problems. Rituals are not arbitrary. They are intentional acts that condition your mind to enter a state of focus quickly and reliably. The more consistent you are with your rituals, the easier it becomes to summon focus on demand, even in the midst of chaos. Discipline is another cornerstone of focus. Awakening your focus is not a one-time effort, it is a daily practice. It requires you to make conscious choices, sometimes uncomfortable choices, about where your attention goes. It means saying no to distractions, no to short-term gratification, and yes to long-term growth. Every time you resist the urge to give in to mindless scrolling, unnecessary multitasking, or reactive living, you strengthen your focus muscle. Over time, this discipline compounds. Your ability to concentrate deepens, your mental clarity sharpens, and your productivity multiplies. This is the hidden advantage that separates high achievers from those who drift, because focus is not just a skill, it is a lifestyle. Your environment also plays a critical role in focus. If you are constantly in chaotic, cluttered, or noisy spaces, your mind will struggle to concentrate. Awakening your focus requires creating spaces that support attention rather than distract from it. This could mean decluttering your desk, turning off unnecessary notifications, or surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire rather than drain and distract. The energy of your surroundings is contagious, and when you cultivate an environment of calm, clarity, and purpose, your mind naturally follows suit. Finally, focus is deeply tied to your vision and purpose. Without a clear sense of why you are doing something, your attention is weak, fleeting, and easily hijacked. Awakening your focus is about connecting your daily actions to a higher vision, a purpose that excites you, inspires you, and motivates you to show up fully. When you operate from purpose, even challenges and setbacks do not derail you because your attention is anchored to what truly matters. You become resilient, deliberate, and unstoppable, able to navigate distractions, fatigue, and doubt with grace and confidence. As you practice these principles, you begin to notice a shift. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become manageable. Ideas that seemed scattered now crystallize. Your energy is no longer wasted on trivialities, it flows toward your goals. Your relationships improve because you are fully present with others. Your clarity increases because your mind is no longer clouded by noise. And most importantly, you feel alive, engaged, and fully capable of creating the life you desire. Focus is not just a tool. It is a gateway to freedom, power, and fulfillment. Every great achiever in history has mastered focus. They understood that what you pay attention to grows, and what you ignore diminishes. By awakening your focus, you are taking control of your life in the most fundamental way. You are reclaiming your energy, your time, and your attention from the chaos of the world. You are stepping into the person you are capable of becoming. This practice will not just improve your life, it will transform it. It will allow you to show up fully, to execute at your highest level, and to manifest the results that were always within your reach. Focus is not about doing more, it is about doing what matters most. It is about clarity over business, depth over distraction, and intention over reaction. When you awaken your focus, you awaken your potential. You awaken the ability to create, to inspire, to lead, and to impact the world around you. It is a practice that requires patience, consistency, and commitment, but the rewards are immeasurable. You will feel a sense of control, peace, and confidence that comes from knowing that your attention is yours to direct, and that with it, you can achieve more in minutes than most achieve in months. Your focus is your superpower. It is the lens through which you view life, the steering wheel that guides your actions, and the magnet that attracts the results you desire. Awakening your focus is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong journey, a deliberate cultivation of attention, clarity, and presence. Each time you return to it, each time you choose to engage fully with your life, you deepen this skill, sharpen this tool, and elevate your existence. The practice of focus is the foundation upon which all other achievements are built, and when you commit to it, you commit to your highest potential. Now, take a moment to imagine your life when your focus is fully awakened. Imagine walking into each day with clarity, energy, and purpose. Imagine tackling challenges without distraction, making decisions with confidence, and creating results that feel almost effortless because your attention is fully aligned with your intention. This is not a dream, it is entirely possible. Focus is accessible to anyone willing to commit, practice, and return to it every single day. The power of your focus is the power to shape your reality, to direct your destiny, and to step into the life you were always meant to live. Energy is the currency of performance. It is the force that drives every action, every decision, and every achievement in your life. Without energy, focus, clarity, and intention cannot be sustained. Many people underestimate how vital energy is, assuming that they can push through fatigue, stress, or distraction and still perform at their highest level. But the truth is that energy is the foundation for everything you want to accomplish. When you activate your energy, when you consciously choose to elevate your physical, mental, and emotional state, you unlock your ability to show up fully, consistently, and powerfully. Energy is not just about being awake. It is about being alive, vibrant, and fully engaged with your purpose. It is about stepping into your day with intention, enthusiasm, and unstoppable momentum. The first step to activating your energy is understanding that energy is something you cultivate, not something you wait to find. Many people wake up expecting energy to magically appear, hoping that coffee, music, or motivation will be enough to carry them through the day. But true energy comes from within. It comes from the choices you make about your body, your mind, and your spirit. It comes from the way you breathe, the way you move, the thoughts you entertain, and the emotions you allow yourself to feel. Energy is a holistic experience, and activating it requires attention to all aspects of yourself. It is a daily practice, a conscious commitment to rise above the fatigue, the negativity, and the distractions that drain you. Physical energy is the foundation of all energy. Your body is a powerhouse, but only if you treat it with respect, care, and intention. Nutrition, movement, rest, and hydration are the core pillars of physical energy. When you fuel your body with nutrient-dense foods, when you move in ways that awaken your muscles and circulation, when you prioritize rest and recovery, and when you hydrate properly, you create a reservoir of energy that can sustain high performance. Skipping these basics may seem harmless, but over time, depleted energy manifests as lack of focus, stress, irritability, and even illness. Activating your physical energy is about making conscious choices that honor your body as the vehicle for your success. It is about understanding that when your body is thriving, your mind and spirit thrive alongside it. Mental energy is just as critical as physical energy. Your mind determines the quality of your focus, your creativity, and your resilience. Mental energy is activated by clarity, intentional thinking, and the elimination of mental clutter. When your mind is scattered, overwhelmed, or consumed by negative self-talk, your energy is drained. To activate your mental energy, you must create mental space, organize your thoughts, and engage in practices that sharpen your cognition. This can include journaling, meditation, visualization, or simply taking moments of quiet reflection. Mental energy is amplified when you direct it toward meaningful goals, when your thoughts are aligned with your intentions, and when you avoid wasting attention on the trivial, the distracting, or the harmful. Emotional energy is the often overlooked component of high performance. Your emotional state directly influences your level of engagement, motivation, and resilience. Negative emotions such as fear, anger, doubt, and resentment act like anchors, draining your energy and clouding your judgment. Positive emotions such as gratitude, love, confidence, and excitement act like fuel, propelling you forward with momentum and purpose. Activating your emotional energy means becoming aware of your emotional state, choosing emotions that empower you, and practicing emotional regulation so that you respond rather than react. It is about cultivating joy, passion, and optimism even in the face of challenges, because your emotions are the magnet that attracts the results and experiences you desire. One of the most powerful ways to activate your energy is through your daily habits. Energy is not accidental. It is the result of consistent routines, rituals, and practices that reinforce vitality. This could include morning routines that invigorate your body, focused work sessions that sharpen your mind, or evening practices that recharge your spirit. Habits are the scaffolding upon which energy is built. Every choice, no matter how small, either contributes to your energy reservoir or depletes it. When you intentionally design your habits around energy activation, you create a life that is sustainable, productive, and vibrant. Breathing is an often underestimated tool for energy activation. Most people take shallow breaths throughout the day, limiting oxygen flow and contributing to fatigue, tension, and stress. Deep, intentional breathing instantly elevates your energy by increasing oxygen to your brain and body, calming your nervous system, and promoting alertness and focus. Simple techniques such as diaphragmatic breathing, box breathing, or rhythmic inhalation and exhalation can shift your state from lethargy to vitality in minutes. Breath is a direct connection between your body and mind, and when you master it, you master your energy. Mindset is another critical factor in energy activation. Your beliefs, attitudes, and self-talk have a profound impact on your energy levels. When you approach life with doubt, fear, or scarcity thinking, your energy is drained before you even begin. When you approach life with confidence, abundance, and possibility thinking, your energy is elevated and your capacity to perform at your highest level expands. Activating your energy requires cultivating empowering beliefs, visualizing positive outcomes, and maintaining an attitude of possibility. Your mindset fuels your energy, and your energy fuels your actions, creating a positive feedback loop that propels you towards success. Connection and environment also influence energy. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you inhabit, and the experiences you engage in either lift you up or drain you. Energy vampires, cluttered environments, and toxic influences can silently deplete your vitality. Conversely, supportive relationships, inspiring surroundings, and uplifting experiences amplify your energy. Activating your energy involves curating your environment, seeking out people who energize you, and engaging in experiences that invigorate your spirit. It is about creating an ecosystem of energy that sustains your body, mind, and soul. Movement is another essential energy activator. Physical activity is not only critical for your health, it is a direct catalyst for vitality. When you move your body, blood flows more efficiently, oxygen circulates, endorphins are released, and your mind becomes alert. Even short bursts of exercise, stretching, or mindful movement can dramatically increase your energy levels. Movement is a reminder that your body is designed to be active, that energy is generated through motion, and that when you honor this, your entire system comes alive. Sleep and recovery are fundamental to energy. Many high achievers underestimate the value of rest, believing that pushing through exhaustion is a mark of discipline. The truth is that sustainable energy cannot exist without adequate recovery. Sleep is the body's natural reset mechanism, allowing muscles to repair, the mind to consolidate learning, and emotional resilience to be restored. Activating your energy means prioritizing quality sleep, creating restorative routines, and giving your body the time it needs to recharge. Energy is not a commodity to be hoarded. It is a resource to be replenished, nurtured, and respected. Nutrition fuels energy in a direct, tangible way. The foods you eat provide the raw materials for your body and brain to operate at peak performance. Consuming processed foods, sugar-laden snacks, or excessive caffeine creates spikes and crashes, leaving you depleted and unfocused. Activating your energy requires choosing nutrient-dense whole foods that stabilize blood sugar, support brain function, and sustain physical vitality. Hydration is equally critical, as even mild dehydration can reduce energy, impair focus, and diminish mood. Your body is a high-performance engine, and what you feed it directly impacts the energy you have to show up fully. Emotional release and mental clarity practices also contribute to energy activation. Suppressed emotions, unresolved conflicts, and mental clutter weigh heavily on your vitality. Practices such as journaling, meditation, prayer, visualization, or talking with a trusted confidant release this weight, creating mental space and emotional lightness that invigorates your entire system. Energy is not just physical, it is also emotional and mental. And when these layers are aligned and free from blockages, your overall vitality soars. Purpose-driven energy is perhaps the most profound form of energy. When your actions are aligned with your purpose, your motivation becomes intrinsic, your engagement deepens, and your capacity to sustain energy expands exponentially. Purpose acts as a fuel source that never runs out because it taps into something larger than yourself. Activating your energy means connecting with that purpose, reminding yourself why you are doing what you do, and allowing that meaning to elevate every action. Energy without purpose is fleeting, but energy with purpose is unstoppable. Time management and prioritization also influence energy. Scattering your attention across too many tasks depletes your vitality. Focusing on high-impact activities that move the needle in your life generates momentum and preserves energy. Energy activation is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters most with intensity, presence, and efficiency. Learning to say no, to delegate, and to focus deeply ensures that your energy is spent where it has the greatest return, amplifying both productivity and vitality. Mindful presence enhances energy as well. Being fully present in whatever you are doing prevents energy leakage through distraction, worry, or regret. When you immerse yourself in the present moment, your nervous system aligns, your mind clarifies, and your vitality surges. Activating your energy involves cultivating this presence, practicing awareness, and intentionally engaging with life as it unfolds rather than resisting or overthinking it. Presence is energy in motion, fully conscious and fully alive. Breathing life into your energy also means embracing gratitude. Gratitude elevates emotional energy, shifts perspective, and opens the mind to possibilities. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you generate a vibrancy that is palpable, that fuels your interactions, and that amplifies your productivity. Gratitude is a daily energy practice, a lens through which life becomes abundant rather than scarce, and an amplifier for mental, emotional, and physical vitality. Activation of energy is a deliberate process. It requires awareness, intention, and practice. No one else can supply your energy for you. It is yours to cultivate, nurture, and maintain. Small, consistent actions compound, creating an energy reservoir that sustains you through challenges, inspires those around you, and fuels extraordinary performance. The more intentional you are about your energy, the more capable you become of showing up fully in every aspect of life. Energy is the gateway to focus, creativity, productivity, and fulfillment. And when activated, it transforms everything you touch. Clarity on purpose is the compass that guides your life. Without it, even the most disciplined routines, the highest energy levels, and the strongest focus can drift without direction, leaving you feeling lost, frustrated, or unfulfilled. Purpose is not a vague concept. It is the core reason why you exist, the driving force behind your actions, the energy that fuels your ambitions, and the foundation upon which your dreams are built. When you gain clarity on your purpose, you illuminate a path forward, you align your energy with meaning, and every choice becomes easier because you know what matters most. Purpose provides a framework for your decisions, a lens through which you evaluate opportunities, and a magnet that draws the right people, experiences, and resources into your life. Without clarity on purpose, life is reactive, fragmented, and exhausting. With it, life is intentional, cohesive, and energized. The first step to achieving clarity on purpose is to ask yourself the most powerful questions you can ever ask. Who am I at my core? What is the contribution I am here to make? What impact do I want to leave on the world? These questions are not meant to be answered superficially. They require deep reflection, honesty, and courage. Many people avoid them because the answers demand change, responsibility, and commitment. But avoiding these questions leaves you wandering through life aimlessly, chasing goals that may not even matter to you. Purpose begins with self-awareness, and self-awareness is cultivated through consistent reflection, observation of your patterns, and alignment with your values. When you confront these questions with sincerity, you begin to peel away the layers of distraction, expectation, and fear that have obscured your true purpose. Once you begin exploring your purpose, it becomes clear that purpose is deeply connected to your strengths, passions, and experiences. Your unique combination of talents, interests, and life experiences is not random. It is a blueprint for the contribution you are capable of making. Clarity comes when you identify what you do naturally well, what excites you, and what fulfills you at the deepest level. Your purpose is rarely found in doing what everyone else is doing or following what society expects. It is found in aligning your work, relationships, and daily actions with what brings meaning, satisfaction, and impact. When you integrate your strengths and passions into your purpose, your energy multiplies, your focus sharpens, and your confidence grows because you are operating from alignment rather than resistance. Purpose is also revealed through the problems you care about solving. Think about the issues, challenges, or causes that stir your heart and awaken your desire to act. These are clues to your contribution in the world. The things that make you angry, sad, or frustrated often indicate the areas where your gifts can create transformation. When you gain clarity on purpose, you understand not just what you love to do, but also who you are meant to serve and how you can make a meaningful impact. This is where alignment becomes tangible. Your passions meet your talents meet the world's needs, and your focus channels both toward lasting impact. Purpose transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement because every action has significance. Clarity on purpose also requires identifying your core values. Values are the principles and beliefs that guide your decisions, shape your behavior, and determine what is non-negotiable in your life. When your actions align with your values, you experience flow, confidence, and fulfillment. When your actions conflict with your values, you experience stress, doubt, and dissatisfaction. Activating clarity on purpose means identifying your highest values and ensuring that your daily choices, career path, relationships, and habits honor them. Your values act as an internal compass, a constant check against the noise, distractions, and pressures of the world. They provide a framework that allows you to make decisions quickly, confidently, and without regret. Vision is another critical element of clarity. Purpose without vision can feel abstract or distant. Vision provides the mental picture of the life you are creating, the impact you are making, and the legacy you are leaving. It is the destination that purpose is driving you toward. When your vision is clear, your purpose becomes actionable, your goals become aligned, and your motivation becomes sustained. Vision and purpose together create a gravitational pull that draws your energy, focus, and actions in a single, cohesive direction. They provide a framework for prioritization, ensuring that your time, attention, and resources are invested in the activities that matter most. Clarity on purpose also grows through experimentation and experience. It is rarely a single epiphany. Rather, it is discovered through engagement with life, trial and error, and reflection on what works and what does not. Each experience, challenge, and success is a clue that refines your understanding of who you are and what you are here to contribute. When you approach life with curiosity, openness, and courage, you accelerate the discovery of your purpose. Mistakes and failures are not setbacks, they are signposts guiding you closer to clarity, teaching you lessons about what energizes you, what drains you, and what truly matters. Awakening clarity on purpose requires focus and attention. In a world of constant distractions, it is easy to lose sight of what is meaningful. Social media, endless notifications, and the demands of others can scatter your attention and dilute your energy. Purpose grows in the space where attention is concentrated and cultivated. Daily practices such as journaling, meditation, reflection, and deliberate goal setting create the mental and emotional space to recognize what truly matters. By consistently returning to these practices, you sharpen your understanding of your purpose, strengthen your alignment with it, and ensure that your energy flows toward the highest impact activities in your life. Clarity also comes from the impact you seek to create in the lives of others. Purpose is not purely personal, it is relational and contributive. When you consider how your actions, talents, and presence can serve others, you tap into a source of motivation and fulfillment that goes beyond self-interest. Helping, teaching, inspiring, and uplifting others not only creates a ripple effect in the world, but also reinforces your own sense of purpose. The more clearly you understand the difference you can make, the more focused and driven you become. Purpose, clarity, and impact are intertwined, forming a cycle that perpetually strengthens your vision and your energy. Prioritization is an essential companion to clarity on purpose. Once you know what matters, you must decide what deserves your time and attention first. The human mind can only handle a few priorities at a time, and attempting to chase every goal or satisfy every expectation dilutes your impact. Clarity on purpose allows you to identify your highest, leverage activities, the actions that produce the most significant results in alignment with your vision. It also empowers you to say no to distractions, unnecessary obligations, and activities that do not serve your highest good. Purpose without prioritization is like a compass without direction. Clarity without action is ineffective. Clarity on purpose is reinforced through reflection and review. Regularly checking in with yourself allows you to assess whether your actions are aligned with your values, vision, and goals. Reflection helps you recognize when you are off course, celebrate progress, and adjust your approach as needed. This practice builds self-awareness, strengthens commitment, and ensures that your energy is consistently directed toward meaningful outcomes. Purpose is not static. It evolves as you grow, learn, and expand. Reflection ensures that your clarity keeps pace with your personal and professional development. Your story, your challenges, and your victories are all part of uncovering clarity on purpose. The experiences you have lived, the lessons you have learned, and the obstacles you have overcome shape your understanding of what you are capable of contributing. By reflecting on your past, identifying patterns, and extracting lessons, you gain insight into your strengths, your passions, and the areas where you are uniquely equipped to make a difference. Your purpose is often revealed in the intersection of your lived experiences and your desire to create change, both in your life and in the lives of others. Commitment is the bridge between clarity and action. It is not enough to know your purpose intellectually. You must commit to living it daily. Every decision, every habit, and every interaction becomes a choice point to align with your purpose or to drift away from it. Clarity without commitment is like a light shining in a dark room with no path to follow. Commitment fuels perseverance, sustains energy, and translates understanding into tangible results. When you combine clarity with commitment, you create unstoppable momentum toward the life you were meant to live. The clarity you develop on purpose also impacts your resilience. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. When your purpose is clear, you face obstacles with a sense of meaning rather than frustration. Setbacks become learning opportunities, difficulties become catalysts for growth, and failures become stepping stones. Clarity provides the framework for perspective, allowing you to see challenges as temporary and solvable rather than permanent and defeating. Purpose strengthens your resolve, sharpens your focus, and ensures that energy is directed toward solutions rather than distractions. Ultimately, clarity on purpose is about alignment. It is about ensuring that your thoughts, energy, actions, relationships, and intentions are harmonized toward a meaningful end. Alignment creates flow, reduces resistance, and amplifies the impact of every effort you make. When you operate from clarity, the choices you make are not exhausting, they are energizing. The work you do does not feel like a grind. It feels like contribution. The life you create is not chaotic, it is intentional, purposeful, and powerful. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They shape your results, dictate your energy, influence your focus, and determine the trajectory of your future. The difference between high performers and those who drift through life is not luck, talent, or circumstance. It is consistent, intentional habits practiced day in and day out. High performers understand that excellence is not a one-time effort. It is the sum of small, deliberate actions repeated consistently over time. Habits are not just behaviors, they are the building blocks of character. the fuel for momentum, and the mechanism through which your potential is realized. When you cultivate the right habits, you are no longer at the mercy of motivation, mood, or circumstance. You create automatic systems of growth, energy, and achievement that operate even when you don't feel like it, because habits bypass resistance and embed success into your daily life. The first habit of high performers is clarity. High performers know exactly what they want and why they want it. They set clear intentions for the day, the week, and the year, and they review them regularly to maintain alignment. Clarity acts like a filter for decisions and actions, ensuring that every choice moves them closer to their goals rather than diffusing their energy. Without clarity, energy is scattered, focus is diluted, and momentum is lost. High performers make it a daily practice to clarify their priorities, reaffirm their purpose, and align their actions with their vision. Clarity is not a one-time exercise, it is an ongoing discipline that keeps you on course, sharpens your focus, and allows your habits to compound in the most effective way. The second habit is energy management. High performers understand that their body, mind, and emotions are the instruments through which success is created. They do not rely solely on willpower, they cultivate energy deliberately. They eat foods that fuel vitality. They exercise to maintain strength and circulation, they sleep enough to restore performance, and they engage in practices that calm their mind and regulate their emotions. Energy management is a daily, intentional habit. It is waking up with routines that charge the body, taking deliberate breaks to recharge focus, and ending the day with practices that restore clarity and calm. Energy is not optional for high performance. It is the foundation upon which every achievement is built. The third habit is productivity through deep work. High performers do not waste their attention on trivial tasks or shallow business. They prioritize high, leverage activities and enter periods of concentrated effort without distraction. This might include blocking time for strategic thinking, creative problem solving, or focused execution of key tasks. Deep work requires discipline and boundaries, and high performers protect it fiercely. They understand that multitasking fragments attention and diminishes results. By cultivating the habit of deep work, they amplify their output, accelerate progress, and achieve results that ordinary effort cannot produce. The fourth habit is learning and growth. High performers are perpetual learners. They read, study, attend seminars, listen to mentors, and consistently seek knowledge that elevates their skills, understanding, and perspective. They treat life as a laboratory for growth, analyzing results, reflecting on mistakes, and experimenting with new approaches. The habit of continuous learning ensures that they remain adaptable, innovative, and ahead of the curve. Knowledge alone is not enough. It is the consistent application of learning that transforms results. High performers create systems to integrate learning into daily practice, ensuring that every insight has the opportunity to shape action and drive improvement. The fifth habit is emotional regulation. High performers do not allow fleeting moods or negative emotions to dictate behavior. They cultivate self-awareness, recognize emotional triggers, and develop strategies to maintain composure, optimism, and resilience in the face of challenges. Emotional regulation is a deliberate habit that protects focus, energy, and decision-making. When fear, doubt, or frustration arises, high performers consciously shift perspective, reframe challenges, and redirect energy toward constructive action. This habit allows them to navigate uncertainty with grace, respond to setbacks with perseverance, and maintain momentum when others falter. The sixth habit is accountability and reflection. High performers regularly review their progress, measure results, and hold themselves accountable to their commitments. They track habits, analyze outcomes, and celebrate progress while correcting course when necessary. Reflection is not passive. It is an active process of evaluating what works, what doesn't, and how to improve continuously. Accountability reinforces consistency, strengthens discipline, and ensures that small actions align with long-term goals. By combining reflection with intentional adjustment, high performers create a feedback loop that accelerates mastery and produces compounding results over time. High performers also practice the habit of resilience and persistence. They understand that setbacks, failures, and obstacles are inevitable, and they respond not with defeat, but with determination. They treat challenges as opportunities for growth, learning, and refinement of strategy. Resilience is cultivated through daily habits of self-discipline, problem solving, and emotional mastery. Persistence ensures that progress continues even when motivation wavers. These habits allow high performers to sustain momentum over months and years, turning obstacles into stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Another critical habit is effective communication. High performers know that influence, leadership, and collaboration are built on the ability to express ideas clearly, listen actively, and connect authentically. They cultivate the habit of articulating thoughts with precision, providing constructive feedback, and engaging with others in ways that build trust and alignment. Communication is not merely an action, it is a daily practice that strengthens relationships, aligns teams, and amplifies impact. The more skillful you become at connecting with others, the more energy and focus you can leverage toward meaningful outcomes. High performers also prioritize the habit of intentional relationships. They surround themselves with individuals who challenge, inspire, and support them. They minimize time with people who drain energy or limit growth. These intentional relationships provide accountability, mentorship, encouragement, and opportunities for collaboration. They understand that the people around them significantly influence their mindset, energy, and results. By cultivating a network of high-quality relationships, high performers ensure that their environment supports, rather than hinders, their progress. Time management is another cornerstone habit. High performers treat time as a non-renewable resource, allocating it intentionally to activities that produce the greatest return on investment. They schedule their days, block focus periods, and prioritize essential actions while minimizing low-value tasks. Time management is not rigid control but strategic alignment, ensuring that energy, attention, and resources are concentrated on what truly matters. This habit creates space for creativity, strategic thinking, and high-level execution without being overwhelmed by distraction or chaos. High performers cultivate the habit of self-discipline in daily routines. They understand that consistency is more important than intensity, that small, repeated actions compound into extraordinary outcomes. They honor commitments to themselves, even when they do not feel motivated. This habit strengthens willpower, builds confidence, and creates momentum that carries through challenges. Discipline transforms intention into reality, making high performance a predictable outcome rather than a fleeting result. The habit of visualization and mental rehearsal is also common among high performers. They practice imagining successful outcomes, rehearsing challenges, and mentally preparing for critical moments. Visualization primes the brain and nervous system, increases confidence, and improves execution. By imagining success repeatedly, high performers reduce anxiety, enhance focus, and activate energy before taking action. Mental rehearsal is a daily habit that ensures readiness, sharpens skills, and builds resilience to unexpected obstacles. High performers also cultivate gratitude and positivity as daily habits. They acknowledge progress, celebrate victories, and focus on opportunities rather than limitations. Gratitude shifts perspective, elevates emotional energy, and fosters resilience. Positivity enhances focus, motivation, and engagement. By practicing these habits consistently, high performers maintain high energy levels, sustain focus, and reinforce momentum even during challenging circumstances. Another key habit is strategic goal setting. High performers define clear, measurable, and time-bound goals that align with their purpose and vision. They break larger goals into actionable steps, track progress, and adjust strategies as needed. Strategic goal setting provides direction, clarity, and motivation, ensuring that effort is focused on high-impact outcomes. It also creates accountability and reinforces consistency in daily habits, allowing long-term objectives to be achieved through incremental, deliberate actions. Finally, high performers practice the habit of reflection and self-awareness. They regularly assess their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors to ensure alignment with values, purpose, and vision. Self-awareness allows them to identify patterns, strengths, and areas for improvement, creating opportunities for growth and refinement. Reflection is an ongoing practice that deepens understanding, strengthens decision-making, and ensures that daily habits are producing intended results. By combining reflection with deliberate action, high performers create a continuous cycle of improvement that compounds over time, producing extraordinary outcomes from consistent, intentional habits. Mindset is the lens through which you see the world, interpret experiences, and create your reality. It is the internal operating system that dictates how you respond to challenges, opportunities, and setbacks. High performers understand that mastering mindset is not optional. It is essential for consistent success, fulfillment, and resilience. Without the right mindset, knowledge, skill, and effort can be wasted, undermined by doubt, fear, or limiting beliefs. With the right mindset, even modest abilities are amplified, obstacles become opportunities, and challenges transform into pathways for growth. Mindset mastery is about consciously choosing thoughts, beliefs, and perspectives that empower rather than limit, and creating mental habits that support clarity, focus, and high performance. It is not a one-time achievement, but a lifelong practice of observation, adjustment, and intentional cultivation. The first step to mindset mastery is awareness. You must become aware of the thoughts that run through your mind daily, the narratives you tell yourself, and the beliefs that influence your behavior. Many people operate unconsciously, allowing automatic thought patterns to shape their decisions and energy. Limiting beliefs such as, "I'm not enough," "I don't have time," or "I'll never succeed," quietly sabotage progress. Awareness allows you to recognize these thoughts without judgment, to observe the patterns that hold you back, and to create the space necessary to shift toward empowering alternatives. The moment you become aware of your internal dialogue, you gain the power to change it. Once awareness is established, the next step is reframing. Reframing is the conscious practice of interpreting situations, challenges, and failures in a way that supports growth and learning. High performers see setbacks not as failures, but as information, feedback, and opportunities for improvement. Obstacles are reframed as challenges to overcome, not threats to avoid. Reframing strengthens resilience, preserves energy, and reinforces confidence. By consciously choosing empowering interpretations, you transform circumstances that might drain you into situations that elevate you, and you reinforce a mindset that thrives under pressure and uncertainty. Beliefs are at the core of mindset mastery. Your beliefs about yourself, others, and the world determine the possibilities you see and the actions you take. Limiting beliefs shrink vision, reduce energy, and create unnecessary barriers. Empowering beliefs expand vision, enhance motivation, and open doors to opportunities that previously seemed unattainable. High performers actively identify limiting beliefs, challenge their validity, and replace them with affirmations and mental models that support growth. This habit of belief management is not superficial positivity. It is a deliberate alignment of thought patterns with desired outcomes, creating a mental environment in which excellence becomes inevitable. Focus is another key element of mindset mastery. Where attention goes, energy flows and results manifest. High performers cultivate the habit of directing their focus to what matters most, minimizing distractions, and sustaining attention on high leverage activities. Mindset mastery includes the discipline to ignore trivialities, avoid comparison traps, and maintain presence in the moment. Focused attention amplifies productivity, deepens engagement, and strengthens clarity. The mind becomes a tool rather than a source of chaos, and by harnessing focus intentionally, high performers ensure that their energy and efforts produce maximum impact. Growth orientation is central to mastering mindset. High performers embrace the idea that abilities, intelligence, and success are not fixed traits but developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. A growth mindset encourages curiosity, experimentation, and resilience in the face of setbacks. Challenges are viewed as opportunities to expand capability, failures as feedback to refine strategy, and success as a reflection of continuous effort and learning. Cultivating a growth mindset shifts perception from limitation to possibility, instills courage to take bold action, and strengthens the confidence to persist despite uncertainty. Growth orientation is a daily practice of expanding your capacity to think, act, and achieve beyond previous boundaries. Emotional mastery is an inseparable part of mindset. Thoughts and beliefs influence emotions, and emotions influence energy, focus, and behavior. High performers practice the habit of recognizing emotions without being controlled by them, redirecting negative states, and amplifying positive emotions such as gratitude, optimism, and excitement. Emotional mastery does not mean suppressing feelings. It means consciously choosing responses that support clarity, calm, and constructive action. By regulating emotions, you prevent burnout, sustain momentum, and create an internal state conducive to creativity, problem solving, and high-level decision-making. Visualization and mental rehearsal reinforce mindset mastery. High performers regularly imagine successful outcomes, anticipate challenges, and mentally practice their responses. Visualization strengthens neural pathways associated with performance, primes confidence, and reduces anxiety. It is a tool for preparation, focus, and motivation. Mental rehearsal allows the mind to experience success before action, creating familiarity with desired outcomes and aligning belief with possibility. Consistent visualization fosters clarity, sharpens intention, and reinforces the mindset of excellence. Gratitude and appreciation are subtle but powerful elements of mindset mastery. Recognizing the positive aspects of life shifts focus from scarcity to abundance, from limitation to possibility. High performers cultivate the habit of daily gratitude, intentionally acknowledging what is working, what is available, and what progress has been made. Gratitude elevates energy, reinforces optimism, and strengthens resilience. It creates a mental environment in which challenges are approached constructively, relationships are deepened, and focus remains on what matters most. Mindset mastery also requires accountability. High performers hold themselves responsible for thoughts, actions, and outcomes. They avoid blame, victimhood, and excuse-making, understanding that ownership empowers action. Accountability reinforces discipline, ensures alignment with goals, and strengthens confidence in decision-making. By taking responsibility for internal states as well as external actions, high performers maintain consistency in performance and create a mental framework that supports long-term growth and impact. Learning from failure is another essential habit. High performers do not fear mistakes, they study them, extract lessons, and adapt. Each setback is an opportunity to refine strategy, improve skills, and deepen understanding. Mindset mastery includes the ability to detach from ego, observe outcomes objectively, and respond with curiosity and resilience. This habit transforms potential discouragement into actionable insight, reinforces perseverance, and ensures that growth continues regardless of immediate outcomes. High performers also cultivate the habit of positive self-talk. The language you use internally shapes your beliefs, emotions, and actions. By intentionally guiding internal dialogue toward encouragement, possibility, and confidence, high performers reinforce empowering patterns of thought. They replace self-doubt with affirmations, fear with courage, and limitation with potential. Positive self-talk is not wishful thinking. It is deliberate mental conditioning that aligns belief with desired outcomes, influencing both mindset and behavior in profound ways. High performers practice the habit of curiosity and open-mindedness. They actively seek new perspectives, question assumptions, and remain receptive to ideas that challenge existing beliefs. Curiosity fuels creativity, problem-solving, and innovation. It allows the mind to explore possibilities without being constrained by fear, habit, or conventional thinking. Open-mindedness expands opportunity, fosters learning, and supports a mindset capable of adapting to change while maintaining clarity of purpose and direction. Focus on solutions rather than problems is another hallmark of mindset mastery. High performers train themselves to direct attention to actionable steps, opportunities, and pathways forward rather than dwelling on obstacles or setbacks. This habit transforms challenges into opportunities for strategic action, preserves energy, and strengthens confidence. By focusing on solutions, high performers maintain momentum, reinforce positive beliefs, and cultivate a mental environment where possibilities outweigh limitations. Daily rituals reinforce mindset mastery. High performers structure their mornings, middays, and evenings to cultivate clarity, energy, focus, and reflection. These routines are not rigid rules, but intentional habits that create psychological and emotional alignment. Rituals serve as anchors, centering attention, elevating energy, and preparing the mind for high performance. They embed the practices of mindset mastery into daily life, ensuring that mental habits are consistently reinforced and applied even when external circumstances are challenging. Self-reflection and journaling are critical components of mindset mastery. High performers regularly examine thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and behaviors to identify patterns, assess alignment with goals, and extract lessons from experience. Reflection provides insight, deepens self-awareness, and allows intentional adjustment of mental frameworks. Journaling makes internal processes tangible, clarifies thinking, and reinforces commitment to personal growth. By consistently reflecting, high performers strengthen the habits of awareness, intentionality, and proactive mindset cultivation. High performers also cultivate the habit of resilience through perspective. They remind themselves that challenges are temporary, setbacks are instructive, and growth is cumulative. Perspective allows the mind to contextualize difficulty, reduce emotional reactivity, and maintain focus on long-term objectives. Mindset mastery is not about avoiding challenges. It is about interpreting them in ways that preserve energy, reinforce confidence, and drive continuous progress. The ability to maintain perspective amplifies mental fortitude, emotional stability, and strategic thinking. Consistency is the final cornerstone of mindset mastery. Mindset is not built in a day or maintained through occasional effort. It is cultivated through daily attention, practice, and intentional reinforcement of empowering beliefs, habits, and perspectives. High performers commit to mindset cultivation consistently, understanding that each thought, emotion, and action either strengthens or weakens the mental framework supporting their goals. Through consistency, mindset becomes automatic, resilient, and aligned with purpose, ensuring that performance, fulfillment, and impact are sustainable over the long term. Taking action without delay is the single most powerful habit that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Many people wait for the perfect moment, the ideal conditions, or for motivation to arrive before acting, and in doing so, they allow opportunities to slip away and potential to remain untapped. High performers understand that action creates momentum, clarity, and energy, and that the act of starting is often more important than having everything perfectly planned. Waiting breeds doubt, procrastination, and frustration, while immediate action cultivates confidence, learning, and progress. Taking action without delay does not require perfection. It requires courage, decisiveness, and trust in the process. The first principle of acting without delay is clarity of intention. High performers know exactly what they want to achieve and why it matters. They define their goals, outcomes, and desired results with precision. When intention is clear, action becomes straightforward because the path is illuminated by purpose. Every step is guided by alignment with a larger vision, reducing hesitation and uncertainty. Clarity transforms action from random movement into deliberate, meaningful progress. It allows you to distinguish between distractions and essential steps, ensuring that your energy is invested in activities that move you closer to your goals. The second principle is overcoming fear. Fear is the primary reason most people delay action. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of uncertainty can paralyze even the most capable individuals. High performers acknowledge fear without allowing it to dictate their behavior. They reframe fear as a signal for growth rather than a warning to retreat. Action, even in small increments, reduces fear because movement generates confidence. By acting despite discomfort, hesitation, or uncertainty, you train your mind and body to respond to challenges with courage and resilience. Each act of boldness strengthens the habit of decisive action and builds a sense of mastery over circumstance. Momentum is the third principle. Action generates more action. The act of starting, even imperfectly, creates energy and opens doors to possibilities that were invisible when stationary. High performers understand that waiting for motivation is futile because momentum creates motivation. Once you begin, clarity emerges, ideas develop, and opportunities present themselves. Momentum transforms initial hesitation into sustained engagement. The more consistently you take action without delay, the easier it becomes to maintain forward motion, and the compounding effect of small, repeated actions produces extraordinary results over time. Another essential principle is learning through experience. Waiting for certainty or perfection often results in missed lessons and delayed growth. High performers recognize that action provides immediate feedback, reveals strengths, uncovers limitations, and informs adjustment. Each step taken, whether successful or flawed, is a source of insight that guides the next move. By embracing action as a learning tool, you remove the fear of making mistakes and replace it with curiosity and experimentation. This approach accelerates skill acquisition, decision-making, and problem-solving because knowledge is gained in real time through doing rather than theorizing. Prioritization is critical when taking action without delay. High performers focus on the actions that produce the highest impact, the decisions that move the needle toward their goals. Not every step carries equal weight, And discernment allows for energy to be concentrated on high leverage activities. By identifying the most essential tasks and acting on them immediately, you avoid wasted effort, reduce overwhelm, and maintain consistent progress. Prioritization combined with immediacy ensures that action is strategic, purposeful, and aligned with long-term objectives. The habit of decisiveness reinforces the ability to act without delay. High performers cultivate the capacity to make choices quickly and confidently. They weigh options with clarity, trust their judgment, and commit to decisions even in the face of uncertainty. Indecision is costly because it delays momentum and breeds self-doubt. Decisive action, even when imperfect, fosters learning, confidence, and rapid iteration. Each decision creates a foundation for the next, establishing a chain of progress that propels goals forward. High performers also develop the habit of eliminating excuses. Excuses are the primary barriers to immediate action. They create justifications for inaction, diminish accountability, and reinforce procrastination. By taking full responsibility for outcomes, circumstances, and decisions, you remove the power of excuses and reclaim control over results. Excuse elimination reinforces discipline, builds integrity, and strengthens resilience. The more consistently you act without relying on external conditions, the more empowered and capable you become. Time sensitivity is another driver of immediate action. High performers understand that opportunities are fleeting and that delaying decisions or effort often results in lost potential. They treat time as a non-renewable resource and act with urgency when opportunities align with purpose. Immediate action capitalizes on timing, preserves momentum, and ensures that potential is realized before circumstances shift. Recognizing the value of time transforms hesitation into deliberate and purposeful action. Accountability enhances the practice of acting without delay. High performers hold themselves responsible for follow-through and results. Accountability structures, whether internal or external, reduce the tendency to postpone action. By committing publicly, tracking progress, or reporting outcomes, you create conditions that encourage immediate steps toward objectives. Accountability reinforces focused discipline and consistency, making action a habitual response rather than an optional choice. High performers integrate the habit of micro-action. Large goals can feel overwhelming, leading to procrastination. By breaking objectives into small, manageable steps, action becomes approachable and achievable. Micro-actions build momentum, reinforce confidence, and demonstrate tangible progress. Each small step is a signal to the mind that movement is possible, creating a feedback loop that encourages further action. Over time, these incremental steps compound into significant achievements, proving the power of immediate engagement with even modest beginnings. Another key principle is the avoidance of perfectionism. Waiting for perfect conditions, flawless planning, or ideal preparation is a trap that delays results. High performers embrace imperfection as part of the process and act despite uncertainty. Perfection is not required for progress. What matters is consistent effort aligned with purpose. Imperfect action provides learning, experience, and opportunity for refinement, whereas waiting for perfection often results in stagnation and regret. Action with intention, even when imperfect, is always more valuable than perfect inaction. The habit of visualization supports immediate action. High performers imagine successful outcomes, mentally rehearse steps, and anticipate obstacles before taking action. Visualization primes confidence, clarifies direction, and reduces hesitation. When you have a clear mental picture of what success looks like and the steps needed to achieve it, action becomes natural and inevitable. Visualization strengthens focus, aligns intention, and creates readiness, ensuring that movement occurs quickly and decisively. Commitment is fundamental to taking action without delay. High performers commit to their goals, their vision, and their values. Commitment provides a foundation for persistence, fuels consistency, and sustains effort even in challenging circumstances. When commitment is strong, hesitation diminishes, fear is managed, and action flows naturally. Each act of commitment reinforces the habit of immediate response, ensuring that goals are pursued actively and without procrastination. High performers cultivate the habit of resourcefulness. They take action with what they have, leveraging available skills, tools, and opportunities instead of waiting for ideal circumstances. Resourcefulness encourages creativity, reduces dependency on external factors, and accelerates progress. Immediate action often reveals solutions, connections, and possibilities that were invisible in a state of waiting or hesitation. By acting with resourcefulness, you convert limitations into advantages, transforming constraints into opportunities for innovation and growth. Focus on the present moment enhances the ability to act without delay. High performers do not wait for future motivation or ideal conditions. They engage fully with what is immediately possible. Present. Moment focus directs energy to the steps you can take now, creating tangible progress rather than endless planning or worry. By grounding action in the present, you reduce overwhelm, sharpen clarity, and ensure that effort is consistently aligned with objectives. High performers understand the compounding effect of action. Each immediate step builds upon the last, creating momentum that accelerates results exponentially. Delay interrupts compounding, diminishes confidence, and weakens alignment with goals. Consistent, immediate action creates cumulative advantage, reinforces habits, and strengthens belief in capability. The act of starting becomes easier with each successive step, and progress becomes increasingly visible and motivating. Persistence and follow through are essential companions to immediate action. High performers do not act once and stop. They sustain effort, adapt to feedback, and continue until outcomes are achieved. Taking action without delay is not merely about starting, it is about sustaining momentum, iterating intelligently, and remaining engaged until objectives are realized. Persistence transforms initial effort into measurable impact, ensuring that action produces results rather than temporary activity. Risk acceptance is another principle of acting without delay. High performers understand that all action carries some degree of uncertainty. They embrace calculated risk as an inherent part of growth, learning, and achievement. Fear of risk is managed through preparation, confidence, and focus, but it never paralyzes movement. By acting decisively despite uncertainty, you expand capacity, discover opportunities, and cultivate resilience. Risk becomes a catalyst for learning and progress rather than a barrier to action. High performers integrate reflection after action. Taking immediate steps does not mean acting blindly. They review results, extract lessons, and adjust strategy continuously. Reflection ensures that each act of courage, decision, or effort is informed by experience, reinforcing learning, and optimizing future action. Action and reflection create a cycle of growth that accelerates mastery, confidence, and achievement. Urgency, clarity, courage, and momentum together create the habit of acting without delay. High performers consistently engage with these principles, ensuring that hesitation is minimized, fear is managed, and progress is continuous. Immediate action transforms potential into reality, vision into accomplishment, and intention into impact. By cultivating these habits, taking action becomes natural, inevitable, and aligned with purpose, creating a life defined by results, growth, and meaningful contribution.